Intel Arrow Lake S desktop 24-core CPU spotted with 36 MB cache, Lunar Lake MX with 8 cores. Intel's upcoming Arrow Lake S desktop CPUs and Lunar Lake MX mobility CPUs have been spotted in the latest shipping manifesto leak. Intel Arrow Lake S and Lunar Lake MX CPU SKUs spotted, 24 cores for desktop, 8 cores for laptops. Intel's 2024 CPU lineup will consist of a range of desktop and mobility options with its upcoming Arrow Lake and Lunar Lake CPU families. The Blue team has already explained how Arrow Lake targets the high-end and mainstream consumer segment while Lunar Lake will target the thin and light platforms. Starting with the SKUs, one specific Intel Arrow Lake S desktop CPU has been spotted which bears the code 8071505103218. This chip is an early engineering sample and its configuration includes 8 P-cores based on the Lion Cove core architecture, 16 E-cores based on the Skymont architecture, and a GT1 tier graphics chip which should be based on the Alchemist's LPG architecture. All of these combined should give us 24 cores which are the same as the existing flagship, the Intel Core i9-14900K, but it is unclear if SMT, simultaneous multi-threading, would be present for the P-cores. This could lead to either 24 threads or up to 32 threads since E-cores already are deprived of SMT support. Other specifications for the Intel Arrow Lake S desktop CPU include a 2.3 GHz base clock which is preliminary due to the nature of this SKU, and there's also 36 MB of cache which matches the Smart Cache, L3, count of the 14900K. The CPU is mentioned as an LGA SKU and will be compatible with the LGA 1851 socket which is expected to arrive later this year. A few manufacturers are now readying their first LGA 1851 socketed motherboards, though those are designed for industrial uses and not for proper DIY consumer use. The specific Mini ITX motherboard also mentions support for Meteor Lake PS chips which should be limited, non-DIY, SKUs for these industrial applications. The highlights of the leak for Arrow Lake S include up to 24 cores, 8 P-cores, 16 E-cores, 2.3 GHz base clock, S36 MB Smart Cache, LGA 1851 socket, desktop, GT1 tier Alchemist. Moving over to the Lunar Lake chips, Intel already has ES1 chips doing the rounds as we have seen it leak out on reference platforms. The Lunar Lake MX CPUs seem to be an A2 revision and feature a total of 10 cores which are a combination of 4 P-cores based on the Lion Cove core architecture, 2 E-cores based on the Skymont architecture, and a GT2 tier architecture. Since these chips come as an all-package SoC solution, they will pack at least 2 LPDDR5X modules in a single package. That's why the Lunar Lake MX listing mentions 32 GB, LPDDR5X, memory. This gives us an idea of how much memory we can expect on Lunar Lake MX configs. Now, 32 GB memory might not seem much since we are living in a day and age where 48 GB and 64 GB have become common ground, but they are still good capacities for thin and light laptop designs. We might see 64 GB and up to 96 GB variants once higher-end RAM, LPDDR5X, becomes available. The highlights of the leak for Lunar Lake MX include up to 10 cores, 4 P-cores, 4 E-cores, GT2 tier Arc Battlemajig S1HS stepping 32 GB LPDDR5X on package memory https://cdn.com/wp content/upload/2023/09/ Intel Meteor Lake client CPU with ONDI LPDDR5X memory.png. Intel Lunar Lake CPUs will be packing the latest Battlemage 2 LPG with up to 8 cores. We have already seen early samples leak out on platforms such as Samsung's next-gen Galaxy Book 5 Ultra laptops, and we can expect more information as we get closer to launch later this year. Intel's CEO has confirmed that both Arrow Lake and Lunar Lake will be leveraging TSMC's 3nm process nodes.